Okay, so I'm currently editing my experimental Korean songs video, and I noticed something that I wanted to share with you guys. So OO and Dice by NMIX are both experimental songs, and both they have two different types of songs in each song. Like OO has two different songs, and Dice have two different songs. And if these two different parts or two different songs in each Dice and OO were released as four separate songs, then K-pop fans would have easily listened to them and wouldn't have said, that OO is the worst debut of 2022, wouldn't continuously say that JYP is not giving them good songs or whatever like that. And And the thing is, I agree. I love OO and Dice so much, but I agree that their music is bad experimentation or whatever, and JYP is not giving them good music or good experimentation or whatever. I believe that NMIX should continue with this experimental sound, but they should work on one thing: the tempo, speed, BPM, or whatever you call it. The reason why I'm saying that is because the first verse of OO and the second verse of OO, the first verse of Dice and the second verse of Dice, both have two different types of BPM and speed or whatever you call it, that they sound abrupt in the transition. If the second verse of Dice and OO with the same tempo, speed, BPM, etc., as the first verse of Dice and OO, then maybe fans would have found the song more listenable even though it was an experimental song. Like they would have found it more listenable, they wouldn't have called OO the worst debut of 2022. Maybe they would have said the experimentation was a little off, but they wouldn't have called OO the worst debut. They wouldn't have said that JYP is not giving them good music. Maybe they would have been thrown off by the experimentation of the song, but not as much as they are being thrown off at the moment with Dice and OO. So I believe that NMIX should just work on the tempo. Like if you look at examples, We Girls is on air, which is a 2018 debut of We Girls. Their debut was like an EDM type of song, I believe it's called, and throughout the verses, the intro, and throughout the whole song, it's a cute song. But then when the chorus comes, and when the chorus comes on for We Girls is on air, it's a more girl crushy badass type of vibe. And then when the post chorus comes, it switches back to cute, fun, upbeat type. And I'm giving this example because even though it goes from cute to badass, girl crushy to cute again, it still works better than OO because the cute parts of the song versus the badass chorus versus the cute post chorus are all in the same tempo and speed, so it's not off putting. Maybe you'll get a little off put by the girl crush and the cute mixed into one song. You won't get off put by the transitions because there are no abrupt transitions since both parts, the girl crush and the cute parts, are in the same BPM, same speed, etc., same tempo. Take another example, that is Matilda's comeback, You Bad Don't Make Me Cry. This is a song that if you listen to it, you will notice how there's different sections in the song that feels like it's many different songs merged into one and made a song. But it's better than OO, it's better than Dice in the sense that all these different sections and all these different parts and all these different sounds that sound like there are many different songs merged into one, all these parts basically have are in I mean basically they're in the same tempo, they're in the same BPM and same speed, so that's why they don't sound abrupt. That's why they sound really well together, even though they are different types of songs merged into one, or different types of music or sounds. And even though it's experimental, it still works really well because of the fact that they all these different parts are in one tempo, one speed, or whatever you call it. So Admix just needs to work on the tempo and speed, and the producers just need to work on the speed by giving the first verse and the second verse experimentation, but have it in the same speed, same tempo, same BPM, so that there's no abrupt transition. Like if you listen to Dice's first verse, Dice's chorus, and then the second verse, the instrumental switches up, and the tempo switches up. Then if you listen to the second part of the first verse, the tempo switches back to the first verse's tempo, so it's really off-putting. So if they worked on the tempo and the speed and BPM and made all the different experimental sections into one BPM, one tempo, then maybe the song would be more listenable to K-pop stans, and K-pop stans wouldn't hate the song as much or hate the comeback as much, and would actually start liking NMIX more than they already do.